What's going on here? When other countries are thinking of ways to create conducive environment to entice foreign investment, Nigeria is rather enticing terror. Let me ask you this. What conditions are making the northern part of Nigeria so enticing to these groups in the first place? Because this is where almost all of them are situated. Every day I read the news in Nigeria, I get terrified. Every time. Because the spillover of these groups will directly enter all the nearby countries.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. This is Monday, the 4th day of August, 2025. Please, I want you to remove your biased mind from this video. I want you to be neutral. I'm a kind of person that have a neutral mind, and that is why I am always able to detect truth and what is not true, what is false, and what is this, what is that, because even though there are some things that I believe, if the thing happens not to be going well, I will be able to come out to say, this thing is not going well like this, okay? If there is anything going on here, I will be able to come out to say, this thing is not going well, because I have trained my mind to be able to know this is the truth and this is not truth. And in this video, I am going to, amplify the fears of our neighboring countries, the Cotonou, the Benin Republic, the Niger, even Ghana, Ivory Coast. Most of them are afraid, and their bloggers and journalists are beginning to say it. And I will tell you why they are afraid. They say in Nigeria, one blogger from Ivory Coast, a popular one for that matter, is saying that we have 10 terrorist groups in Nigeria. It's not up to 10. One Ghanaian broadcaster is saying that we have 6 terrorist groups in Nigeria. It's more than 6. We have 8 international recognized terrorist group in Nigeria, and I'm going to list them for you here. I mean the one that is internationally recognized, okay? So these people are exercising fear that Nigeria is above 200 million population, which is 60% of the total population in the ECOWAS, the whole West Africa. Nigeria has like more than half of the number of the population in West Africa. This is their fear, that a country that harbor more than 6 terrorist groups and everybody in the country is just folding hands as if nothing is happening, that there is danger ahead, that things could explode tomorrow and these neighboring countries will start receiving Nigerians. And I understand that their fear. I understand what they are saying. I understand everything they are thinking about Nigeria. Now, before I go playing you these videos, very important, I want you to just pay attention with your neutral mind. Listen to this video, okay? With your neutral mind. If you are biased, if you a kind of person that is unteachable, you can't understand my videos, because me myself, I am teachable. I am very, easy to understand the truth and what is not true, even though what I believe is false. I will come and tell you that, oh, this thing is false. I thought it was true. That is the way I train my mind. Now, let's start with Boko Haram. Boko Haram that started in the year 2002. Obasanjo was able to stop Boko Haram to the barest minimum. But Obasanjo did another error by allowing Sharia into some part of Nigeria, right? After that one, we have Islamic State of West African Province, okay? This ISWAP came, I think, in the year 2016. But in the year 2012, before ISWAP, we have Ansaru. Ansaru came in the year 2012, okay? Ansaru terrorists. And these terrorists are still operating, right? We have Nakurawa terrorists. Nakurawa terrorist is a well-known terrorist that has collaborated with the army. They have collaborated with the people. In fact, the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, told us that when Nakurawa came, that they were friendly. I say, how can a terrorist be friendly again? Things that don't happen in other countries happen in Nigeria. And that is why most Nigerians are afraid. Follow me. We have Mahmuda. We have Darussalam. These are terrorist group. We have organized banditry, which is one of the most dangerous terrorist groups in Nigeria right now. These are internationally recognized. And the last one that came into Nigeria is called Fethullah. Fethullah, Fethullah. They came from Turkey. Turkey intelligence warned Nigeria. Turkish government released official statement warning Nigeria about this terrorist group. So these are international, mark my statement, internationally recognized terrorist groups. That is this one. So they are 8 internationally recognized terrorist groups. I have a lot of things to tell you, because a new Nigeria is possible is one of the greatest mockery that the whole world is using to mock us. They said we fail to tell ourselves the truth. We keep on saying a new Nigeria is possible. Like when you see someone dying, the person will say it is well. You are dying, you say it is well. The first step in making anything work is for you to tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself, this is not working. We can't get new country like this. This can't work like this. This can't work like this. Once you are able to tell yourself the truth, then the rest thing will follow. Stay with me. Let's pay attention to what this Ghanaian broadcaster said. I will come back to explain everything to you. As I said before, don't have a biased mind. Take a listen.
Nigeria's population is a national security threat to every neighboring and West African country. As of March this year, Nigeria's population is more than half the total population of West African countries. More than half. This means on any given day, the influx of Nigerian citizens to any West African country will easily swallow up the entire local population. This is why every country in West Africa needs to have a say in what goes on in Nigeria, on the backdrop of the fact that they like to travel, ladies and gentlemen. They like to move, and they are moving in numbers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, two major situations are making Nigeria look scary to the rest of Africa, especially the neighboring West African countries. And I said two major things. But first, let's put aside the lack of stable electricity and inflation for now. Those are regular problems everywhere that every country in Africa has to deal with. However, there are two worrisome situations brewing in Nigeria which threatens the sovereignty of other African countries, has to do with the religious extremism and poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to again hold back on the insults for now and also put down your biased glasses and hear me out for a minute before you come in. Are you aware of the number of Islamist jihadist groups operational in Nigeria as of 2025? Let me give you the list, ladies and gentlemen. It started in the year 2000 with Boko Haram, whose aim is to establish an Islamic state in Nigeria. Then the first splinter group from Boko Haram, called Ansaru, was formed in 2012. After Ansaru came the next splinter group called Islamic State West Africa Province, aka ISWAP, which started in 2016. Darul Salam also came in from the Niger Delta, and then the multiple Fulani militant groups came in. Just when we thought these groups were too many to handle for one country, then we hear of a group originally from Mali and also operational in Niger moving in to Nigeria. They are called Lakurawa. The situation appears to get worse by the days, from one bad jihadist group to a worse group. Ladies and gentlemen, is Nigeria becoming or already become the main breeding ground for all terrorist groups in Africa? What's going on here? When other countries are thinking of ways to create conducive environment to entice foreign investment, Nigeria is rather enticing terror. Let me ask you this. What conditions are making the northern part of Nigeria so enticing to these groups in the first place? Because this is where almost all of them are situated. Every day I read the news in Nigeria, I get terrified. Every time. Because the spillover of these groups will directly enter all the nearby countries. These are countries in West Africa. This may include the splinter groups moving to other countries, or the citizens of Nigeria abandoning their own homeland for another. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious issue that needs immediate continental concern. Nigeria is a friend of Ghana. Nigeria is a part of ECOWAS. When they are moving into your country, we cannot turn them away. But when 1 million moves in at one time, what then becomes the fate of the host nation's security, sovereignty, and economy? And this can happen on any given day, ladies and gentlemen. And what actually terrifies me is this. I don't see any real political actions or steps taken by the leadership of the country to deal with the situation. You don't hear of the presidency talk about strategies. You don't hear of governors talk plans, and senators the same. Where are the marches, ladies and gentlemen, and the demonstrations on the streets to force the hand of the government to face it head on? Where are they? It's like the fate of the people in this country is in individuals' hands. Those with the resources may hire armed officers for their personal security, and those who don't have to live carefully and away from certain hotspots. Ladies and gentlemen, is this the best Nigeria can do in their own country? Day in, day out, all we hear is kidnapping, robbery on buses and even on trains, village killings and so on. Is this ever going to change in Nigeria in the nearest possible time? Nigeria currently ranks 10 on every type of crime list in the world. Talk about cybercrime, organized crime, financial crimes, and extremism. You will find them on the top 10 list of all of them. What type of society are you building? On the criminality index on ocindex.net, you are 6th out of 193 countries, 2nd out of African countries, and number 1 in West Africa. You are ranked 19th among the least peaceful countries in the world, and nothing shows it bothers you, especially they that hold power in the country. Omanaja, what's up? When you finally get the chance to vote for a president who may bring a difference to the country, you reject it. You vote the same type of leadership in every election, and the problems continues. Why won't you try change? Why can't the people try what Ghana did? You come out in your numbers. You create your own coalition centers. You protect the ballot boxes at all costs and ensure a free and fair elections for once in your lifetime. Because if you as a regular Nigerian don't like what's going on in your home country, you have to do something about it, ladies and gentlemen. That cannot be done by anyone else but yourselves, unless it benefits you. What's the ultimate goal here? When you have chosen democracy as your system of governance and it's only making life a living hell for the majority of the people, what is the plan, ladies and gentlemen? This is disturbing. Now, on to the second situation that is of equal concern as the first. This is about the level of poverty in Nigeria. You have more than 40% of your total population living below the global poverty line of $2.15 per day. That's more than 100 million people, ladies and gentlemen. That's a national security crisis. To have more than 100 million people who don't spend up to 3,300 naira in a day is problematic for the state's economy and for the people themselves. And here is how. The 3,300 naira per day will include your transport fare in and out to work if you have one, or to school, your breakfast, your lunch, your supper for one person. And so when that's not possible for more than 100 million people, then there isn't much these 100 million people are doing to contribute to the economy of the local state. People must work, produce, buy, pay taxes, and all of that, which runs the local economy. And that explains why countries whose citizens spend more do better than countries which citizens spend less. This is economic fact. Economic activities thrives off of demand and supply, buying and selling. And so when purchasing power drops, supply power is affected. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to that is the low rate at which Nigeria's economy is growing. With the kind of population you have and expected to have in the next 10 years, your economy cannot.
No insult to this guy at all. What he said is a very genuine concern. A very genuine concern. Now, are you not surprised how Nigeria's so-called political elites and blogger journalists, TV stations, they are not concerned about what this guy is saying? They don't even bother about what this guy is saying. Everything they'll tell you is a new Nigeria is possible. See, we have passed the level of this kind of deception. Oh, you want to build a new Nigeria? Tell yourself the truth first. Why is it that no political leader in this country is opposing to the 8 terrorist group in the country? A simple question and a food for thought. Why is it that all our politicians, they are not opposing to the 8 terrorist group in the country? Do you know how many people that are dying every day? Benue, everybody's crying, Benue, Benue. Today they killed, and I'm talking so many people in Benue. Yesterday the same thing. Last 4 days the same thing. Nobody can fight this terrorist group. It's a great concern. A new Nigeria is possible. Very good. Tell me, see, I have studied a lot of things in Nigeria. No country at all is structured or is organized the way Nigeria is. No country at all. I have traveled to a few countries. At least every year I spend 6 to 7 months in Nigeria. At least I can tell you that the way Nigeria is structured not to succeed, not to survive. It's structured for destruction. If we are unable to tell ourselves the truth, if we are unable to tell ourselves the truth that this country is not going to work like this, get ready, because a lot of people in their old age will regret everything they thought. Yeah, I understand your genuine thought, your pure heart, your love to see a Nigeria that works. But before that, tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth that this shit is not working. Tell yourself the truth that people are dying every day. People like you. May you represent them. If life is swappable, go and die in their place if you think to die is a meriting. We talk about families dying, they burn them alive, they do everything every day. People don't understand what we are still talking about. And that is why I am saying that there is a genuine concern. There is a genuine concern why and how this thing will be stopped and should be stopped. The Nigerian state can't do it. It's only the people that can come together to say, okay, let every region go on their own way to organize their army and police. That was in Aburi Accord, for them to be able to defend their territory. If not, you see that American researcher that predicted that Nigeria is going to end by 2030. Watch what will unfold from 2026. Is it politicians are the major sponsor of all these things? You will see how all this terrorist group is going to, play a very important game in the next election. That was the game they wanted to play with all this Ansaru Boko Haram during the time of Jonathan. Jonathan saw the blood that was coming. Even after Jonathan, the blood also flows. But Jonathan saw the danger and he gave up. Brethren, a new Nigeria is not possible in this manner.